What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Here we go. It is, believe it or not, show 118 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. We have done this 118 times, you and I, with some incarnation of a group of people around us. Right now, it's just me and you. We will be joined, hopefully, here by B-Dog Brandon Harper in a few minutes. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, on location is seven-time NBA champion Robert Horry. Without giving specifics of what you're doing, because we know we can't do that, Rob is off filming something. You are in another country. Without being specific, what time is it where you are?
It is currently, 5 a.m.?
God bless you. How long were you on a plane yesterday?
Oh, my goodness. It was 18 hours on a plane.
That would infuriate me. A 4-hour flight, I'm pissed off. 18 hours on a plane.
Yes, 18 hours. But you know what, though? I got to watch some movies. I got to relax. And this was the first time I've ever slept 8 hours straight. Not even at home, I don't sleep 8 hours straight because I got the dogs. I got to go to the bathroom. You hear the helicopters, you hear something. But this was like just straight silence. So I slept for 8 hours.
Man.
So I'm wide awake and rested right now.
Well, that's crazy. What did you watch on the plane? Anything good?
You know what? I watched the show with the guy who used to play Everyone Hates Chris, Abbott Elementary.
Oh, Abbott's a great show. Yeah. That's a fun show.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Yeah.
I like any show when they stare and look at the camera like, I love that.
The cutaways, the break the fourth wall moments. He's great in that show, too. He's outstanding. Quinta Brunson is the creator of that show. Abbott Elementary is brilliant. Very, very well done show. Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. That's a fun show. I'm going to tell you, we were talking about it before we started. Go see Spider-Verse, man. If you got time to kill or you know somebody that can get you to a movie theater and you got a minute, go see Spider-Verse, dude. I know you're busy.
Spider-Verse. And, I love Spider-Man. We talked about it earlier, Miles, Mexican and black. If they do the live character, I'm putting Chris's name in the hat.
Christian Horry for Miles Morales. Exactly. Get him in the mix, baby. Manifest it into reality, bro. Just put it out there in the world, dude. He's got the size. He's got the size. He could pull it off.
He's athletic build. He can jump. He can speak Spanish. So
someone needs to be paying attention to this. I'm just saying. There needs to be an agent or somebody paying attention to this.
My whole point is stop using all the same actors and actresses all the time. Put somebody else new in the spotlight and see them blow up.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, that's one thing I think that Marvel was really good at for a long time. Is kind of casting these people that hadn't had these big premiere roles and turning them into like everyday household names. It's a lot of people.
Unless you Captain America, he's been like 5 different characters.
Chris Evans has been around. Robert Downey Jr. has been around. But I mean, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Nobody really had a beat on Elizabeth Olsen before she got that role, and now she's everywhere. I mean, that completely blew her up.
So Captain America was Johnny Blaze. Not Johnny Blaze. Was it Johnny Blaze?
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
Right, Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was someone else.
I don't think in a Marvel or a superhero type character though. But Chris Evans has been around. He's done a ton of stuff, man. He's done a ton of stuff. He was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which was a very trippy, fun movie. If you've ever seen that one from back in the day.
At least we love Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds been like 5 different characters.
Oh my God, Ryan Reynolds is the best though. I don't care. He's been Green Lantern. He's been Deadpool. Put him in everything. I don't care.
He can be whoever he wants.
I don't care.
My favorite movie of all time, Proposal.
The Proposal is your favorite movie of all time?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. For a second, you had me. I was like,
no,
bro.
I just love the part where she goes from the window to the wall. To sweat drip down my ball.
It's the little things that make us laugh. It really is.
I know, right?
I'm excited for Deadpool 3 with him and Hugh Jackman together.
Me too.
Dude, they're gonna rip each other the whole movie. It's just gonna be a roast. The whole movie's gonna be a freaking roast. I'm so excited. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. I wanted to play you a couple pieces of audio from the Nuggets parade.
Hey, may I say something before you play it?
Oh, go, man.
These dudes are putting a target on their back that is so big.
Yep.
You would think that they have run the NBA for 20 years the way they are talking. Boy, they don't understand it, boy. I guess we're going to see if they can back up this talk they're doing.
Well, before we get to that, I'm going to start with Jokic, which you called this last week. You said that man wanted to go home. And you were like, let him get to the parade, and we'll see how he feels about going home. Here's Jokic on stage at the parade.
You know that I told that I don't want to stay on parade, but I fucking want to stay on parade. This is the best.
Oh, man.
This is amazing. This is, we're all going to remember this our whole lives.
We're going to remember this our whole lives, he said. This is amazing. I don't want to stay on parade. I fucking want to stay on parade. I love that, man. I was like, good for him. Like, for the first time, and I can't remember how long, the man had a smile on his face. He was having fun. He was laughing. It was like, dude, that's what I want to see from my league MVP, which I know he wasn't this year, but, your perennial MVP contender. You want him to have fun.
Yeah, you think about all the hard work, all the dedication, all the sacrifice you put in to get to this goal and get to this point in your career, and you want to go home and say, "Oh, I got to see my horses." Those horses aren't going with. This is a once in a lifetime moment, and maybe 2 or 7 if you mean. But it's a once in a lifetime moment.
Not to brag, but
you got to take advantage of it. I knew he would do this once he realized he saw the joy of not his teammates, but the city when they come out and represent and say thank you.
Yeah, and that's really what it is, because we saw it, when the Braves won in 2021. We work here at the Braves Stadium, is where our studios are in Atlanta. And, I mean, that parade literally came right by our studio. There were more people for the parade than I think I've seen at anything in Atlanta. You know what I mean? I mean, negating the Freaknik days, back in the days where they would take over the streets, man. Freaknik took over the streets of Atlanta. You couldn't drive down the connector. But, there were more, the fans, the joy on the face. They're throwing beers up on the parade float, and people are high-fiving, and they're signing stuff. And, dude, you just knew he was going to have the time of his life.
I want to know, when did it become the norm for players to start taking their shirts off? Was it J.R. Smith that started this?
It might have been. That man doesn't own a shirt.
Take their shirt off. Let me just say this. Out of everybody, Uncle Green, dude, you had a heart surgery. You're the only one that should be able to take your shirt off, because this is what I had to go through to get to where I am. He wants everybody to see that. Him, everybody else, leave your damn shirt on, man. We don't want to see those bird chests. I'm like, come on now.
All right. Well, that's you're right. It might have been JR that started that.
I think it was J.R. Smith.
I don't know, but nobody has a damn shirt on anymore.
No, nobody wants to wear a shirt.
All right. So you mentioned this at the top of the show. B-Dog's here. He's getting set up. So we're gonna have B-Dog join us here in just a second. You mentioned this on the top of the show. I'm excited to get his take on this as well. The Nuggets paint a little target on their back here. I want to play you, and I don't know who the guy is. I apologize. Whoever introduced Mike Malone from the stage.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who this guy is, but I have a little bit of an issue with the way he introduced Mike Malone.
Okay.
Here's the intro.
He came into this world as the son of a coach, but in these playoffs, he became the Lakers' daddy.
So in the playoffs, he became the Lakers' daddy. Bro, hold on a minute. Did you play the Lakers in the NBA Finals? Is that what just happened? Did you just... What? Oh. Why, of all the teams, did you decide to pin it on the Lakers? I think they are sour about the fact that the Lakers got more press than they did. Bro, you have the Larry O'Brien, okay? You're holding it over your head. Let that shit go. You got to go past that.
And it's funny, and it's just like a snowball effect. And for him to say that, I'm like, dude, they got nothing to do with it. They weren't even supposed to be there. And now you happy that you beat a 7 seed and you all bragging about it. So
exactly.
whatever it is.
Yeah, I think they were the 8th seed,
like,
weren't they?
Yeah, it was AC. Yeah, and so that lets you know that the Lakers have dominated. Them and the Celtics have dominated basketballs so much, and especially being in the West and the team that just manhandling you for so many years. You know, you want to just say, okay, we finally beat them. Now we're your daddy. I'm like, dude, one time, you're the daddy. Now you didn't say this we didn't say nothing about you in the bubble when we beat you in the Lakers. So now you want to say, oh, we're the Lakers' daddy.
Are the Nuggets like looking for a rivalry? Is that what the problem here? Because like if you look at Denver, you go, who's Denver's rival? I don't think they have one.
Utah, because they both claim to be in a mile high city.
I guess, but
they
like
both cold weather.
Yeah, but I mean, you're reaching for straws. You know, you're connecting some really far off points to get to a rivalry. Was this just like, to me, this is like, okay, they didn't like the fact that people were keeping the Lakers in that series, and they just soured on it, and it became screw the Lakers.
Yeah, they should call up, you know, Pop in San Antonio and be like, yo, it's sometimes best to ride under the radar. Let everybody love all these other teams. The next thing you know, you got 6 or 7 championships. And like, what? Because all that matters is if you get the ring. Who cares if you get the pub? Pub don't pay the rent.
It sure doesn't.
unless you're an IG model.
That's true. B-Dog Brandon Harper gets here in time for it.
And that only goes for so long. For the IG model, at least.
Well, and you know, in this grand scope of the NBA too. Look, tables turn real quick. Now you're right. You said this before. They're a young team. They if they can hold that core together, they're going to be good for a long time. That's great. What happens the days where that table starts to turn the other way, though? And these, like everything in sports, comes back to bite you. Why would you give any other team any kind of billboard material to come back and try and eat your lunch next year? You know, it ain't worth it.
Because, you know, it's like they go figure you out. This is you one injury away from, you know, being back in the cellar again. And I think when you watched the way Denver played, and I hope coaches are smart enough to figure it out, because if you go at Jokic like Bam did in the first half of the last game, you can score him, but nobody ever goes at him. It's like he goes at your grill, but nobody goes at him. But it's now I'm just putting the bullseye on their backs, the Denver Nuggets, and that. I guess we need to find out who that guy is, though.
Yeah, he had to be like I don't know who hosts some of that stuff. Yeah, he might have been. I don't think it was. Was it the GM?
It may have been, but either way, Mike Malone started this because Mike Malone is the one who continuously made references to the Lakers and how no one gave them a shot versus the Lakers and things of that nature. So Mike Malone started this, and whoever that guy is, he just piggybacked off of it. But at the end of the day, man, look, you won a title, but it just lets you know that regardless of whether the Lakers are the 7 seed or the 2 seed or the 1 seed, they're always on somebody's mind, whether it be in the front, middle, or back. We always on your mind.
Mm-hmm. You know what LeBron said? LeBron said that too.
Here you go. All right, so LeBron, you're right on Instagram here. I'm on your mind that much, huh? It means I guess I see why. But wave the flag on these lames. Please make being players cool again, because the lame machine is at an all-time high. Enjoy your light, but just know that I'm the sun. I stay on forever.
I don't like now.
I don't know. I think that's kind of a good flex, man.
No. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, it is. I don't like the way that's worded. It sounds really
arrogant?
No, not even that. Just weird.
Okay.
It just sounds really, really weird, and sometimes LeBron can put out some of that type of stuff and be like, all right, Bron, we get you.
Yeah.
But it sounds
really,
is it
someone's lyrics? Because, you know, he's good for quoting someone's lyrics. So
it might be.
But the funny thing about the ironic part about that is that whenever somebody drops an album, they always accusing him of not knowing the lyrics. So anytime he's rapping something in the back of his car, it's always his head bobbing, but he don't know none of the lyrics.
Hey, I don't know no lyrics either, so I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, but you ain't A&R. You're not trying to be an A&R of albums like he was being in the studio and LeBron James A&R'd this album. Did he really?
No. He showed up.
He didn't really. He just
showed up and was like,
Yeah, just bobbed his head and everything. He didn't A&R the album. And he ain't trying to do album reviews in the back of his Rolls Royce either.
The other news that popped up this week was we all kind of missed on Ja's suspension. He gets 25 games when it's all said. And, I mean, I think that's probably fair. I thought it was going to be a little heftier to try and make a point.
Half the season.
I think that's kind of what we all thought. He gets 25. Right. And then the players' union is like, this is excessive. And I was like, all right, hold on. Pump the brakes, guys. This is second offense. But I guess that's the players' union's job, right, Rob, to take up for the players?
Yes. Yeah, it is, because in the big scheme of things, you got to really say, what did he do wrong? You know, because he didn't go out and get a DUI. He didn't go out and, do anything to any animals. So he got caught with a gun on IG, But I think it is a part of the big picture, meaning the culture and, kids watching and who he is. And NBA has a certain image and brand that they had to do something, which I agree with, because you do have to be held to a different standard when you're on this type of level. And I think Ja is still learning. He's probably gonna wind up doing something dumb again because of the people he has around him. And you have to put mature people around who's looking out for you, not people who think they're gangsters or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I don't like he didn't do anything, or he didn't break the law, or he didn't do anything to go against the law of the land for the reasoning for the amount of games that he should have gotten, because I think these are two different things that we're talking about. You may have not have broken the law, but you broke code of conduct of the league that you're a part of, and you broke code of conduct of the brands that are also associated with you. So if they view those things as detrimental to their brand and to the image of said brand, they've already warned you once and you got 8, 9 games, whatever it was. You did it a second time. So you literally spat in their face after saying, oh, my bad, I won't do this again, turned around and did it again. And now a lot of people, even the players union, is still saying that, we think that it was too egregious and it was too much. Sit down somewhere. Your boy got caught. He messed up again. And this is exactly what was going to happen. I thought he should have got 41 games. I thought half the season is what he was going to get. He got grace only getting 25.
So I see what you're saying, but let's say if someone is filming him at a gun range shooting at targets, does he still get the same suspension?
No.
I think that's totally different.
But see, this time he wasn't filming himself, so this is why I'm looking at it like this. It's not like he in the other video he's actually filming himself doing it. This time is one of his dumbass friends that catch him with a gun in his hand. So that's how I have to play it in my mind. Because if you're at a gun range, you're doing target practice, and someone puts you on whatever social media, is it the same thing when you say, "Oh, don't do that"?
No way. No, because you're in a controlled environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the idea of the gun in the wild. You know what I mean? That I'm out on the streets with my buddy, and the first thing I do is I reach for my piece.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was the idea, and I think the suspension. That's why I said I think it's fair, only because I feel like you can make an argument from both sides.
Yes,
that's pretty valid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think either is an invalid position, which is probably why Adam Silver landed on 25 games. I think the biggest sticking point for the NBA is what B-Dog pointed out. You promised you weren't going to do this again, and then you did it again like right away. Within a few months.
He didn't do it. His friend did.
But it doesn't matter.
But the point is, it happened again.
Yeah, it happened
right
again,
after you were like, "Hey, man, I'm good. I swear I'm never going to cheat on you again, babe. Except for this girl over here. Don't look at her. Don't look at her. She's not. Don't worry about her."
And so now your friends are a reflection of you. They're an extension of you.
Yeah.
So they're not going to come after the friend. They're going to come after you. So it's not that you didn't do it. You just didn't record yourself doing it, and you got caught again because your friend recorded you. So that's an extension of you. You got caught again. Here, all I'm saying is it shouldn't take the law of the land for something to be seen as egregious as it actually is. Like, it shouldn't. Well, the court of law didn't get involved. Why is it? That ain't got nothing to do with it. I have my own rules. This is a private entity. These are private businesses.
He made a promise and he broke his promise to the league that pays him and employs him. So
but you know what though? I have to say though that that incident might have saved his life. What I mean by that is, it's gonna teach him, hey, I don't need to carry a gun or whatever. Because there's some idiots out there gonna see, as soon as they see a handle of the gun, they might not know who he is. He might think everybody in the world know him. He gonna come up against a real gangster who's gonna see a gun. His reaction is to protect himself. And he's like, hey, he had a gun, so I shot first before he shot me. So hopefully that's gonna teach him, you make enough money, dude. Get you some damn security like half these guys in the NBA.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry a gun yourself.
And no one is saying that you can't have a gun. It's just the optics of which you're using the gun and handling the gun. That's the issue. There are people who have guns but aren't on IG Live flashing it around. You may not ever know that they have a gun. Why? Because they're only using it in a confined environment or when they feel threatened and when they need to use it. We're not on IG Live flashing it around while we listening to music while we with our partners. And I make $200 million a year. That doesn't bode well for me.
Yeah, he can always use this gun, right? Pop, 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 like everybody else does.
Yeah,
that's got a lot of street cred, by the way.
Yeah, that's what everybody does. They use their hand as a gun.
But yeah, because everyone knows I'm not, in an image-based business, I'm not going to be flashing a gun around. It's just, it doesn't work. But 25 games ends up what he's getting. We'll see how it shakes out. There was, I don't know if this is worth anything, but there was, TMC had a video of the day after the IG Live of him using a gun lighter to light candles. Yeah. And it's like, so then the argument became, all right, well, what if that's what he was holding in the car? Does it matter?
Nah, that was a gun in the car. Okay. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be real about this.
To me, the lighter after the fact was almost like, oops, look, see, it was a toy.
I gotta cover my ass.
It was a toy. Yeah.
Then you remember they came out talking about, well, his camp came out talking about, well, it was a fake gun. It was a toy. Yo, really?
Here's the one that you want to talk about his camp. Here's the one that sticks me. The media is out to get us. This is the narrative out of Ja's camp. We feel like the media is out to get us. What? I mean, just they have a feeling is people perhaps, let me see here. I've heard indirectly that Ja and his people close to Ja, perhaps people formerly close to Ja, have this feeling that the NBA is out to get them and that the media is out to get them. And I'm like,
dude, it is helping your ass out so much, so stop it.
Yeah, like, for real. I mean, it's look, Owen, you made a mistake. I screwed up. My bad. Let's move on. And you gotta find a way to put it behind you. Otherwise, it's gonna follow you around forever.
You know what's weird? That we know he lost a lot of money, but he's probably lost a chance for the next. He's gonna have to play extra well for the next maybe 4 to 5 years in order to get back into the MVP race. You remember a couple of years ago,
you think it'll take that long?
Race. Yeah.
Really?
It's gonna take 4 to 5 years, I think.
Oh.
Well, you got to earn back. It may take him that long to earn back the trust of maybe fans and maybe the media, but you think it'll take him that long to get back in the MVP conversation?
I think because, nowadays, because of social media and keep bringing stuff back up, it's going to be hard for him to, that it's almost like when you in politics, man, they're going to bring that shit up and you can't win that race because of negative stuff. So
okay, but
it's going to be a minute.
Can I ask you something that may not necessarily be along the same lines, but it's frowned upon by a lot of people? God rest his soul. He's my guy. He's my favorite. But just for the sake of the conversation, Colorado with Kobe Bryant. With his wife, we all know that situation. And obviously went to court and all this other type of stuff. Obviously, he wasn't looked at in a very positive light when it came to that. Obviously it's not a suspension type of thing. But that was what, 06?
No, that was like 03 or 04.
03 or 04.
04, because that was my first year out not being on the Lakers.
All right, so 2004.
So it wasn't that long after that people began to warm back up to Kobe. It didn't take 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh, it may have.
No.
Yes, it did.
It may have. Because the focus really shifted to Shaq after their split. The Lakers weren't that good for a few years until they got Pau Gasol. And then they won the title in 2009. So you're talking about 5 years before they were back in the big spotlight.
Well, also, and it's probably 4 years when he won later when he won the MVP, because that was 08.
That was 2008, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're talking 4 years to NBA.
But here's the thing, though, with Kobe, though. The reason I say that is because social media wasn't like it is now.
Thank God.
And so they couldn't keep bringing it up. Like, for every time something happened, someone's going to put the clip of him over the glove, the clip of him in the strip glove. They can't keep throwing it out there and keeping it on people's mind.
You're right. You know what they did? When he died, they kept bringing it up.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine if it was at his height when that happened. Look at what happened when he passed.
Yeah.
One of the first things they brought up, one of the first things these bastards brought up when Kobe Bryant lost his life was going back to 2004 in Colorado. That's the first thing that was on their mind. So imagine what it would have been like if Twitter was in its heyday in 2004 when this went down.
Yeah.
It would have been awful.
Yeah, it would have been. It absolutely would have been. But, the thing that Ja can take from this is you are not the worst mistake you've ever made. That's not who you are.
Right.
Kobe showed you that.
Right.
Kobe had a similar instance like we just discussed, and he found a way to win his way back into people's hearts. He got Lakers Nation back behind him, and he mended a lot of fences. There's a lot of guys who do that.
Right.
So it's really up to Ja Morant now on what do you want your future to be.
And listeners, we know it's not the same thing.
No,
but
it's totally different.
We're talking about the principle of falling out of graces.
Yes,
right.
The idea of coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking. Let's make sure that we talking about falling out of grace.
Yeah. No, it's working your way back from a mistake.
Well, but how can you compare Kobe to? Relax.
It's an image. It's an image comparison.
It's an image.
It really is. Yeah. They both had image issues, and for different reasons, completely. Bradley Beal to Phoenix. What did you think of that move? Looks like that might happen.
No, it ain't no might.
No, I know. But here's why. We have this fan calling for boycotts of this trade now, which is wild to me.
Why don't y'all raise David Stern up from the grave then?
For real.
It's like weird people are going to boycott the trade. You got the David Stern, Chris Paul thing. People always think it was David Stern. It was the other owners in the league that didn't want that trade. So everybody blamed David Stern for that, but it had nothing to do with that. David Stern has bosses, and it's the guys who own the other teams. Right. And in this sense, I'm like, okay, you got what? How much? I don't know how much his contract. I know he's about to make $50 million coming up.
Well, I think at 32 and 33. Yeah, at the age of 32 and 33, he'll make north of $52 million a year.
Yeah,
that's what $120 million. Not going to get a bench in Phoenix. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Ayton. Why, damn, that's like what $160 million between those four players.
That's all right. I got a team.
And this thing, what people don't understand, they got to have a bench. I said, if they don't, it's like they got only 5 players on the contract right now. And so it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to say, you know what, I want to go chase a chip and go play for them. Because right now, everybody always anointing them as a championship. I don't see it right now because they're not a team yet. Because let's be honest, Denver's still the team to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
I got a team. Well, you ain't got to worry about Ayton. I got a team that needs his services.
All right,
so.
yeah. Where's DeAndre Ayton going then? Go ahead.
Landry Fields down here, and the GM of the Atlanta Hawks need to be right there on that call. Oh, and we got a big man in Clint Capella that fits better with you in Phoenix than DeAndre does with you in Phoenix. Why? Because Clint Capella does not need offensive touches. You need more defense in Phoenix because you need a center that is not going to want to be fourth fiddle and is not going to complain about his touches. Clint Capella is not going to complain about his touches. He's going to run the floor and play defense. I need DeAndre Ayton here in Atlanta because I need a post player who can not only provide me with defense, but I can throw the ball down low and he can go to work.
Yeah. It'd be really interesting to see what bigs they pick up because what small forwards or whatever they pick up because they got no money, man. They got no money.
No,
They've gone all in.
Not tied up with what you got now.
They have no draft picks.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. One of the players, and they saw the trade, and it was like Bradley Beal and no first round picks. What?
Yeah, that's part of the fan boycott. How are there no first round picks tied up in this? Something's fish.
Can I explain to y'all why?
Go, man.
A lot of people aren't understanding this, so I'm going to explain this. And this is the uniqueness of Bradley Beal's. And you know this, Rob. You probably do. Maybe you don't. Bradley Beal had the most unique contract in NBA history because not only did he have a no-trade clause, and not only did he, if he waived it, would he get to dictate where he goes, he also gets to dictate who's in the trade of where he goes. So he's not going to play against himself going to a team to say, y'all need to give up all this in order to get me. He dictated what was in the trade. That's why they said this could have been one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history because you were not going to get anywhere near the value back for the player that Bradley Beal is. That's why that looked the way it did.
Yeah. Also, Bradley Beal's isn't his agent or
the father?
It's father's son.
Yeah,
like
right?
the friend of the son or something.
The son is the GM or something of Phoenix, and the father is Bradley's agent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little. So I mean, you get when people say there's fishy connections here. You know what I mean? Like you get it.
But it's just weird that they didn't get a first round pick, or they, let's be, they didn't get more. They could have got more. I would at least say, you got to give me. I know Bradley Beal had a lot to do, but I'm like, you got to give me 8 or something out that shit, man.
Yeah.
Not if Beal said no.
Yeah. I didn't know he dictated the terms of that trade, though.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
He could dictate this and be like, okay, you want to go? We giving you everything. I'm getting nothing. Nah, you'll sit your ass right here in Washington and lose for the rest of your career.
Yeah, for real. Welcome to Washington. Yeah.
He could have told Phoenix, don't give up nothing but a pack of Annihilators and a Capri Sun. And they would have given him a pack of Annihilators and a Capri Sun, and he'd have been over in Phoenix.
Oh, man.
Hey, and a box of baked beans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some Boston baked beans.
Hey, man, I don't give a shit on baked beans. I'll take it. And
the towel you threw at Danny Ainge.
That's hanging in Rob's office somewhere, man. That's tacked up in an office somewhere. Speaking of Boston baked beans, the Boston Globe is reporting that the Celtics have no intention of trading Jaylen Brown, and all signs are starting to lean toward him signing a 5-year, $295 million Supermax extension to stay in Boston. You think that's the right move for him, staying in Boston?
I think a lot of guys want to, finish what they started, and they've been right there, nipping at the bud to get to the finals or win to the finals and all this kind of stuff. And I think they just need some more pieces, and let's be honest, they have their moments when they're great together. And then they have the moments like Game 7 against Miami when you're like, what the, But I think that's a great fit for him. And if not, who cares? You can always be traded. Look what just happened with Bradley Beal. Yeah. So work it out. You don't like it, then move on.
Yeah, I was leaning towards him staying anyway. I mean, I think Boston.
I didn't see them wanting him.
I think Boston realizes, look, we've been last 5 years or so. We've been to the finals twice. Here we are in the conference finals. Almost every year. We're right there. We're competing. And it's hard to get a franchise, to draft a franchise guy like Jason Tatum. It's also even tougher to draft another guy that's almost up there in talent like Jaylen Brown and to have 2 of those guys anchor my franchise. Most teams would love that. So they figure if it takes $600 million to keep these 2 here, then so be it.
Yeah.
But what are they, you look at that team, it's like, what are they missing? I think the bench is one of the biggest keys to their livelihood. They need some bench help.
They also didn't have Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, but we forget he was hurt though. But Malcolm Brogdon, they're gonna have to move him into that starting lineup. Something unless he just wants to come off the bench. But they need something else.
I also think Boston spent way too much time getting Tatum and Brown to work together to just move away from Brown that fast. Because that was always the biggest knock for the last couple of years. It's like, can these guys make this work together? And they found a way to work. They found a way to play off each other well. And, when you have talent like that that's willing to share the basketball and come together the way they have over the last few years, I feel like you got to keep that together and just try and build around it.
Yep.
What about Portland? Portland looks like they're going to be rolling with Dame Lillard. All the buzz was going to be Jimmy's getting Dame to Miami. Dame's going to go to Miami. And now reports coming out of Portland, they have no intention of moving Dame Lillard. He does not want to go to Miami. The Blazers are going to keep their number 3 pick, likely go for Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson and try and build around that core of Dame, Anthony Simmons, Shaedon Sharpe, and just try and go forward with the number 3 pick and see what they can put together.
No, we didn't see this happening at all. Go ahead, though.
But, it's like, if you look at the team, I was like, it's like they're going to have to go small again because they're not going to get any size out of this draft. And, if they'd have got the number 1 pick, they could have got some skinny size, but they got no size, though. I know Brandon is 6'10", and I know Scoot is a freaking phenom body-wise, so I'm really interested to see who they draft. They can't go wrong with either guy, but I think for me, if I'm Anthony Simmons, I want to trade. I want to go somewhere where I can, show my talent. Because that dude, man, he's fucking talented. And it's going to kind of get hidden because, he's playing behind Dame Lillard, and then you get another guy to come in here. And so that would be the one thing I would use that as material to trade, some trade bait if I could, to get another piece because they need another piece.
There is not enough that they could get back trading that number 3 pick to put around Dame to make them a contender. I blame a lot of this on Dame. You could have been gone a while ago. You could have been gone a couple of seasons ago. If you wanted out, you could have said, you know what?
Don't sign the deal.
Now, I'm not mad at you getting your money. Like I said, it's the Carmelo effect.
Yeah.
You decided to take the money in a place where you knew you were not going to have a chance to win. Now, a couple of years later, you going on podcasts. There's newspaper articles. There's on TV. If there was a team Miami, of course. You sending out all these little bat signals that you may want to leave. Then at the end of the day, we come right back around to where we were originally, just for you to stay. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. I love Dame. He's a baller. But I don't want to hear any more about Dame Lillard and trades because he's had ample opportunity to get up out the Northwest, and he just won't do it.
Because I just mentioned, because, you think when you look at Portland, when they had a solid guy like CJ, and I just look at CJ, he's like, to me, one of the ultimate professionals when it comes to playing this game. And for it not to work out with him, Dame and CJ, now you got Anthony kind of moving the CJ spot. I just don't see them being so guard heavy that it's going to work, So, but I love Dame. I he's one of my favorite players, one of the most clutch players to play this game. But he's just going to have to need some help there, man. That young help, you're gonna be old before you get some help in there. It's gonna be too late for you to enjoy it.
Yeah. To B's point, you've had your chance. If this is what you're going to do, then this is what you're going to do. And sadly, it seems like he's okay with the situation in Portland at this point. So don't complain about you need extra, you need more. You know what you settled for. This is where you're going to be, man.
Rob, you know they're saying, if you like it, I love it.
Exactly right. What about Draymond? It looks like Draymond's going to opt out of his player option and go test the unrestricted free agent waters. Kind of surprised by that.
I'm not.
I am.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why?
Because I think that Draymond knows enough of what he has in the teammates that he has, and even if it was one more year, you could have gotten another year out of that core, and then again, they got some work they got to do. But if you could have kept those 3 together for another season, I would like to see what happens there. And then at that point, if it fizzles out and it ain't going anywhere or someone gets moved, all right, well, now we'll go on to free agency. But yeah, he opts out. It looks like he's going to try free agency.
I want to know if he thinks that he's going to get, one of those contracts where the team rewards you for what you did for another team. Because there's been a couple players where you said, they're how old and they got what from another? And it's like, I wonder if Draymond thinks that, or he knows that he has the Warriors over a barrel. So you know what? I want to re-sign, but I want Clay money. I want Steph money because I won just as many championships as those guys have. I'm actually probably just as vital as those guys. So is some strategy going by or is he saying, you know what? Fuck it, I'm out of here because I don't want to play with Poole anymore because he just didn't show up like he was supposed to in the playoffs. I would love to know what's going on in his mind right now.
Well, he wants to. Obviously, this comes down to the years. So he wants the commitment in the years. I can see him re-signing a 3-year deal in Golden State to kind of keep the band together. I just don't think if Draymond, as good as of a player as Draymond is, and as important of a piece that he is, that he has been to this run, and that he is to this franchise, I just don't see him being anywhere near as effective going somewhere else. They may pay him the money, but I just don't see him being as near as effective somewhere else and outside of Golden State.
I totally agree with you on that one, because you think about it, his whole game from the moment he got in the league has changed to help out the Splash Brothers. You know, the thing when Draymond first got in the league, people forget Draymond could score. Mm-hmm. He could get buckets, man. But then all of a sudden he realized that the shooters he had around him, if he was more active and got them in better position to score, it was better for the team. And I think, could he change his game and adapt his game back to the Draymond when he first got in the league and be able to go somewhere, be a scorer, be a rebounder, be an all-around guy, or he just now become this guy who's trying to get these two guys open? So it's interesting. That's an interesting situation out there, especially with a new GM.
Well, that's his game.
I'm still. I didn't even know they had. I know they had to get a new GM. I didn't know they had hired one that fast. So I'm like, Dunleavy Jr. Really?
They just promoted within.
Yeah. Which means they've probably been thinking about it.
Yeah, when you have a successful organization like that, rarely do you go outside of your own four walls to hire somebody new. You want somebody who's already been ingratiated in the culture that you can kind of, okay, he's been around Bob Myers. He kind of understands how things work here. We don't want to shake things up too much, so let's just promote from within.
Well, I mean, you don't need somebody coming in trying to fix something that ain't broken. You know, I got all my own ideas. Well, great. We just won 4 titles, so please tell us what we're doing wrong. You know what I mean? So, all right, a couple more, and we'll do Big Shot of the Week. We'll play a quick game, and we'll let Rob go because it is an absurd 5:30 in the morning where he is right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. No.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah. No, Rob's on remote. You missed the front of the show, 16 hours on a plane yesterday, which is enough to make me want to scream.
Were you in first class?
18 hours.
18 hours. Sorry,
okay,
18
I was about to say.
hours on a plane. Hey, don't look. Every hour counts. When
hey, don't shorten me my 2 hours.
No, you're right, dude. You win. Those 2 hours are about all I could handle. The other 16 can fuck off. I'm good, man. All right, we got a couple more NBA moves that are buzzing out there. There's a lot of sources saying, and by the time this show goes up, who the hell knows, that the Pelicans will likely move Zion by Thursday for the draft. Just rumors, but there's some reliable sources weighing in. If this happens, do you think that's the right move for New Orleans, to move on from Zion Williamson?
If you could get something really good, because if you look at what they were able to do without him and the maturation of Tiny Dog and the way he's playing and CJ kind of making that his team, I would. If you can get something good for him.
Okay.
And because I think
it's got to be picks. If you're trying to move him by Thursday, it's got to be for a pick, right?
Yeah. Or you got, or something else. You know, who knows? But I think for Zion, sometimes you need to change too, because if you play in a uniform, you're always getting hurt. It's almost like you feel like you curse or you jinx or something. So move to a different city, move to somewhere where there's a city where there's not butter and everything, because I know he in New Orleans eat that butter.
This man moves to a city where
there's
ain't a lot of
butter and everything.
Well, guess what, bro?
Good for you.
He need to get up out the South altogether.
Like California, healthy state like California.
Yeah, go vegan. Hard pass, man. No, thank you.
No, because
thank you. Come to Atlanta. We deep fry our iced tea here. Let's go.
And here's the thing. There are two ends of this sword. I don't like to get info business. But see, you talk about him moving somewhere where there ain't a lot of butter. Okay, he got to leave the South. Well, if he go out west to California, there's a bunch of porn stars out there, so he may get himself in more trouble.
Issue. Yeah,
so my thing is, which one? I mean, you got to pick your poison almost. And my thing is, if I want to keep him here, New Orleans is a eatery city. That man got eaten more beignets than a little bit.
Oh my God!
So I don't know if it's he just needs. I don't know what he needs, but for some he need to be on the floor playing. That's what he needs.
Yeah, he does. And you hate the fact that you see this guy. He's so freaking talented. He has a passion for the game, but he just can't stay healthy, man. It's almost like he's too strong for his body. His muscles are too strong for his ligaments, and it's just like, dude, yoga. You would not ever be allowed to lift anything over 40 pounds again. Certain things you have to do with him when his workouts, man, because he just keeps hurting himself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of moves going to happen by Thursday. That's for damn sure. And then the last little bit before we give out Big Shot of the Week is there's buzz that the Clippers are probably going to try and re-sign Russell Westbrook, and that there's interest in now bringing in Chris Paul.
Why do you need both of them?
That's an old backcourt, man.
Forget that. Why do you need both of them?
That is an old backcourt.
Chris Paul gonna probably be with every team. They're gonna be on this team, that team. You know, I saw when they was gonna bring him to the Lakers. I saw when they was gonna put him in.
Well,
Houston.
now he's been tied up in this move for Beal, so his name's gonna go everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So, but you know, also I'm laughing at some of the things that when I tell you there is no loyalty in sports, and the fact that his son had to tell him that he was traded instead of the organization, you know, calling him up, or his, you know, the GM, the agent, whoever it may be, and said, "Yo, we know this is what we're thinking about doing, just to make you aware." And it's just odd to me that some organizations don't tell you before you just hit in the face with it and bombarded with it. Because especially in this day in social media, you know, they got to get it out there before they do.
Yeah, that sucks.
Look,
but you're right,
man.
B. Why do you need both of those guys?
You don't need both.
What?
Look, if anything, man, if you're going to go to L.A., go wear the jersey that the league took away from you back in
Oh God, yeah,
whatever that year was.
Long time ago.
Yeah,
2006,
go play with your, go on over there and play with your boy. Go play with your banana boat brother.
Hey, if you had an ideal spot to put him, where would you guys put him?
Chris Paul?
Yeah, Chris Paul.
I ideally would have thought I would have put him back in Phoenix. But since that's not
obviously
the case,
that's not the case.
Yeah, but
does he fit in like a Milwaukee?
Well, where does Drew Holiday go?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I say you put him with LeBron in LA. I know both of them old, and I know Anthony Davis is like Mr. Glass. But I say getting LeBron off the ball, we talk about this all the time. Getting him off the ball, having him not be the guy that's always to be the most ball-dominant guy, having a viable point guard there, I don't think it gets much better, even at 37-38, than Chris Paul. He can still play when he's healthy. And seeing him play with a LeBron and setting up Anthony Davis, I think that can still be something.
What about Memphis? Just to give some veteran leadership to a team that is struggling, because I feel like he gave a lot of that to the Suns when Booker was young in the league and they were trying to find their footing, that he kind of gave them a little bit of that veteran leadership and helped get those guys into their roles and stuff. Does that work in a Memphis? I don't know.
But
maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know.
I think Memphis plays too fast for him at this point.
That's probably true, though. Yeah, no, that's probably true.
You know, even though Chris, it'd be a little wear and tear on his body. You know, I was thinking about this. What about if he goes back to where it all started, back to New Orleans?
Yeah.
You know, because if you think about them, he'd be with Brandon and CJ.
Yeah.
He could be a good fit for those guys.
Ingram might be. That's compelling.
But we're talking about competing and winning a title like now.
Oh no, yeah, that's not. Yeah, you don't go there to do that.
Yeah, you don't go there to do that. You go there because, you know, but
for the benefit of the younger guys on that team. That's the only reason you go there.
But if I'm CP3, I'm waiting till the very, very last minute. If you know, Washington releases him, I'll wait until the last minute to sign with whoever, because I'm gonna sit there and pick my poison. Like, nope, you suck. Nope, I'm not going there. So.
Big shot of the week this week is going to go to a 42-year-old guy named James Culp of Newport, North Carolina. Here's why. He recently took a job working at the deli and the bakery at his local Food Lion. Why? He wanted to spend more time with his 19-year-old daughter, Aston. She's been telling her dad about the recent struggles at work involving people not showing up or doing their proper share. James is retired from the military and said, well, why not? I'm going to get me a part-time job at the Food Lion and get to spend some time with my daughter. And he was a military dad. He ended up having to raise her and do a stay-at-home thing after he left the Marines. But he got this job just so he could spend some extra time with his 19-year-old. And as you know, Rob, They grow up very quickly, and they get away from you very fast, so I get where he's coming from. But big shot of the week to just a guy doing something fun and a little bit extra to spend some time with his kid. I think that's cool.
Hey, and then you don't know what role he has to do at the food line, too. So I'm happy for him. Anytime you get, spend more time with your kids, you take, especially, daughters at 19, they're probably like, you know what, Dad? I don't need to be seen with you. I'm trying to holler at this guy over here,
yeah.
Big ups
Maybe
to
for the
him,
best
man.
that he's there, then, in that case.
Exactly.
I don't need you dating Brent from Dairy. I'm good. Get the hell out of that, guys. Yeah.
And you don't need some old man coming in there and trying to eye my daughter. Hey, man, what you looking at, man? You older than me. Let me eye my daughter.
Oh, yeah. We got problems. He's a Marine, too. You don't want to fuck with him. Yeah. And by the way, shout out to the South for having great grocery stores like Food Lion. Good for us.
Piggly Wiggly.
The Piggly Wiggly. We drove by a Piggly Wiggly. My daughter's like, what in the hell is that? I was like, people buy groceries there. She's like, shut up. I'm like, no, it's a real thing.
Yep.
A real thing.
Oh, my goodness.
All right,
Winn-Dixie.
the Winn-Dixie. Love the Winn-Dixie. Actually, I don't love the Winn-Dixie. Not to crap on Winn-Dixie, but man, my goodness. Winn-Dixie was like, man, I can't afford to buy this in public. Let's run over to Winn-Dixie.
I know, right?
Man, the Winn-Dixies were rough. All right, let's do this. Rob's on the other side of the planet, so we'll play a game of...
Where in the world is Robert Horry?
Where in the world is Robert Horry? We will throw you... I'm going to throw you guys a clue. We'll start with Rob. Either he's going to get it or Harper's going to steal and vice versa. You have to come up with a location. So, for instance, Robert Horry landed in Sydney, Australia in the middle of the night. Australia's largest city, but only by a couple thousand people. Rob, if you were to travel to Australia's second largest city, where would you go?
The Outback.
The Outback. Oh, my goodness.
You're going to find something else out there other than people.
Steakhouse, man. Rob wants a blooming onion. That's all he wants, dude.
Is I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, it's almost exactly the same size as Sydney, if you can believe it.
Is it Melbourne or something like that?
And the point goes to Robert Horry.
If you weren't going to say it, I was.
Melbourne,
I was waiting
Australia.
on you to listen.
Very good. By the way, Melbourne, Australia, 4.24 million people. Sydney has 4.62. So just by several thousand people, you get a little bit of a bigger city. All right, B-Dog. Rob took a lot of pictures of the Moai, larger-than-life ancestral figures that were carved between the 10th and 16th centuries. On what island off the coast of Chile? I know you've seen the Moai.
Yeah, the island off the coast of Chile. Chile is, that's South America.
I have no clue.
Oh, come on now.
What island off the coast of Chile?
Giant carved figures.
Hold on.
Mysteriously carved giant figures.
I know what the figures are called, but I don't know.
They're called the Moai. That's the name of the figures.
That's what they call?
Yeah. What's the name of the island?
Off the coast of Chile.
It's off the coast of Chile, but the name of the island's very famous.
Heck if I know.
All right, he can't come up with it. Rob, can you steal?
Hey, it just sounds Hawaiian, so I was going to say Hawaii.
No, it ain't in Hawaii.
That's
Shit.
not off the coast of Chile.
Off the coast of
Chile.
Chile?
I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding.
What do you got?
I am going to say Taiwan.
Oh, my goodness
Jesus
gracious.
Lord.
Off the coast of Chile. Hot dog. Easter Island. The giant stone heads that have been carved in Easter Island that no one knows where the hell they came from.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. My goodness. Goodness gracious. All right.
Don't they always say that there are actually bodies underneath that too? Like
they've dug some up that have full bodies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like Lake Lanier.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of bodies in Lake Lanier. If you're from Atlanta. Oh, boy. All right, Rob, this is for you. You spent 4 days hiking the Inca Trail instead of just traveling 4 hours by train, which makes a lot more sense, to see the awe-inspiring Machu Picchu, a city located 8,000 feet above sea level in the sacred valley of what South American country?
I just saw this on TV.
Picchu, which is breathtaking and amazing. What South American country is Machu Picchu?
Hey, Brazil?
No, it's not Brazil. Harp, can you steal it?
South American country. Argentina.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
No, you're both. It's Peru. Peru. Machu Picchu is in Peru.
If I had another guess, I would have said Peru.
Oh, my ass. All right, yeah. All right. Rob, this is for Harper. Rob is a risk taker, even though there's really no risk in climbing this 8-story tower that leans about 5.5 degrees in the city of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is what it's called. In what country is it located? The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is in, and I should know this.
You should. You
Please,
really should.
I really should. But I got two. It's two countries in my mind.
Jesus. Oh man. All right, go ahead.
No, because you're not gonna let me get to the second.
Just do it. At this
the
point.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. In what country?
Country. Looking for a country.
Yes.
Just name a country.
Italy.
Yes, it is. It is.
So it was one of
Italy.
the two. Guess what the other option was? I was about to say Greece, but
okay.
I'm like, you should know pizza and pizza Italian, Italy.
The joke was always the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Right, but I didn't. I should have made that association, and I
That's
didn't.
okay. All right, you got the point, so it's all that counts. All right, Rob, this one's for you. We know that you love the lavish, rich lifestyles of guys like Louis XIII. You loved your visit to the Palace of Versailles. Europe's one of Europe's most lavish and beloved palaces. In what country? Louis XIII and the Palace of Versailles, which is freaking amazing.
Oh my goodness!
Freaking incredible.
I think I know this. It did say Europe, right?
Yeah, we're in Europe.
Okay, cool.
We're in Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the sun don't shine.
Henry, when Henry?
Who?
No, you said Louis XIII.
Louis XIII.
Louis XIII. Isn't that England?
No, it is not England. No.
Can I guess?
Go, man.
France.
Oh, there it is. Yes, it was
I think,
France. Louis XIII was the king of France. Absolutely. Palace of Versailles. Treaty of Versailles, which ended a great war. All right, 2-1 Harp Dog. Here we go. Brandon Harper. When he returned to the U.S., Rob went to one of his old stomping grounds to visit the Alamo.
Oh, shit.
In what U.S. city? In what U.S. city?
San Antonio.
There you go. Good job. I softballed one because I went to Machu Picchu and some other places early in the game, so I needed to get a point on the board for somebody. All right, Rob.
But you know the most interesting thing about the Alamo? It is so damn small.
I remember you told me.
Yeah, dude, it's like the size of a broom closet, man. There ain't nothing to it. All right, last question, Rob. The vacation rounded out with a trip to see the Tears of the Arizona, which is actually oil that still leaks from the USS Arizona, which sits at the bottom of a harbor in what U.S. state? The USS Arizona.
It says it's the bottom of a
Ain't that Hawaii?
That is indeed Hawaii. That is Pearl Harbor. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, the USS Arizona.
Still leak oil?
It still leaks oil
That's
to
not
this
good.
day. It's called the Tears of the Arizona. And it is freaking cool because that thing's been underwater since 1945.
Guess what? I won.
You sure did. Congratulations. Just go ahead and run that one all over Rob. He don't know. All right, well, hey, look for Rob on network television in the near future. I don't know when that's going to air or when we can talk about it, but my goodness. I don't. And why are you wearing tell Harp why you're wearing a sweatshirt?
Because it's fucking 30 below here. No, I'm just kidding. It's 30 degrees here.
He's in 30-degree weather in the
It's
middle of
winter
June.
where I am. Yes.
Jeez.
Celebrate Juneteenth by putting a black man in the Antarctic.
Yeah.